For its end of June update, Brawl Stars launched Super City Rampage, a boss battle game mode that involves the boss going on a rampage, trying to take out all the buildings on the map. The objective is to destroy it before it can destroy all the buildings. If all characters die, you lose, and if all buildings are destroyed, you lose. The game mode is fun and all, but we decided that it might be even more fun to team up with the monster and destroy the buildings with it. And being the speedrunners that we are, we got the crew together to try to bring down the city as fast as possible. Here's the map, and here are the buildings that we want to destroy as fast as possible. In order to do this, we made this route. Here we have circled all the buildings that will be destroyed by Frank in purple, Shelly in green, Colt in blue, the robot in red, and we have the lines out we want everyone to take. Before we get into the fight, for brawler builds we used Colt, Shelly, and Frank as they all have efficient terrain damage. We gave Colt Magnet Special for an easier time hitting the boss. We used Colt's gadget for faster supercharging. Frank's build doesn't matter at all. We used Shelly's gadget for going faster between the boss and the boxes. Shelly's on Band-Aid in our attempt so we didn't accidentally slow the boss, but it turns out it doesn't matter because we routed so that we would not have that problem. Also, we are playing on an insane difficulty, mainly because that is the one we happen to be on, but the robot goes faster on insane than in previous difficulties. The robot also has more health. Since it normally gets angry and starts targeting players instead of buildings at about 75% health, we want it to have as much health as possible as to not reach that threshold before you destroy the map. A lower level Frank and Shelly does help with this, but is definitely not necessary. Also, insane difficulty has the robot become enraged after 2 minutes, which put a convenient timer in the top right so that we could see our time after every attempt. At the beginning, all of the brawlers need to attack the boss as fast as they can so that they can charge their super as fast as possible. That is how we'll be destroying buildings. To do this, it is optimal for the Shelly and Frank to jump on the pad to the left, and for Colt to shoot over the pond. For this, we want to have Colt on the right of the spawn, and the Frank and Shelly on the left, so that they can reach the pad faster. They will attack and charge their supers while the robot starts its path to the right. First, you'll see Colt fire his super at his row of boxes. It appears at first to be a difficult shot to break every building individually, but these 4 buildings on the right act as one object, so hitting it once will work. Next, while Colt goes back to charge his super again, Shelly and Frank will destroy these boxes to the top left. It is a slightly tougher shot for Shelly than Frank, as her super has an interesting hitbox. Frank won't have time to charge another super before we want to be done, but we are using him to charge another one anyway, in case he needed to clean up a missing building. Shelly will go back for another super, using her speed gadget to go faster. By now, the robot is making its way down to the right, and Colt will get his next super, lining up for the most difficult shot of this speedrun. Colt has to destroy these 2 sets of buildings on the bottom. This requires a very precise angle, as well as Colt moving slightly mid-fire in order to reach all the buildings. This was the point that caused the most resets in our speedruns, as Colt kept missing 1 or 2 buildings. To end the run, Shelly charges her second super and takes out the last set of buildings, which are these buildings on the left. This shot is not too difficult, but on occasion Shelly's shots would be absorbed before they got to some of the far buildings. Now that we have gotten through the route, we'll show 2 different attempts of this speedrun. The first one is our very first attempt, and the second one is our likely world record attempt. Okay, this is our very first attempt at the run. We started with the wrong spawn locations, which wasn't a huge deal. The problem with this run, and what happened to most of our runs, is that Colt missed buildings on his shots. Also, Colt had a suboptimal alignment on his second shot, which was much harder to work with. We discovered the better angle later in our speedruns. In this first run, we also crossed the 75% threshold, and the boss started targeting us at the end. Because of this, it was very difficult to destroy the buildings that we missed. We ended up getting a 53-second run. Now you can see our best run, which we got after over 3 million tries. We all spawned in optimal locations, the beginning tech was very fast, and we got all of our shots. As you will see, the last building was destroyed when the timer was at 1 minute 25 remaining. Since it wasn't the most precise way to time our run, we manually timed it afterward to be almost exactly 36 seconds long. There isn't much else to say about the run, but there are a few important things to note as we finish the video. The first thing, how could we improve this run? Well, we can see that Shelly is the limiting factor since she destroyed the last building. So, if there are any spots where Shelly could improve faster, the whole run could be a bit faster. All things considered, she could probably only speed up by a small amount, creating only 1 or 2 seconds of time save. But what if we used a different route, or even different brawlers? We use Shelly, Frank, and Colt only because they could destroy buildings easily, but there could be other strategies. For example, you could use Bull to clear a whole row of buildings with ease, or you could use Brock to take out a large area of buildings from far away. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Let us know in the comments if you have come up with a better route, or if you have a better time than we do. There is a link in the description if you want to watch the run by itself, so feel free to check it out too. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time.